Welcome everybody here to the China finals for the D2CL. I'm Toby1, and obviously I'm kicking off with a wonderful stutter as we're welcoming Blitz for the first time here to the Joint Dota studio. Welcome to Berlin.
I still don't know what to do with my hands in front of the...
Really?
Yeah, they don't just like naturally fall, and I don't know where they're supposed to be. So I'm just going to do the classic...
You're meant to be the guy that came in here with all the camera experience, freshly poached from BTS, trained in Korea as a professional player.
I don't know if I was really poached. I guess in some ways I was, but I have a good relationship with them, so we'll use a different word.
Yeah, okay. Loaned?
Loaned? Okay, yeah.
I can loaned?
Loaned is okay.
But that means you're going to go back. So on rent. we rent Blitz by the hour. All right, let's get to the game, man. Grand final time, Invictus Gaming versus VG Gaming, so everyone's up to date. It's a one-game advantage going the way of VG Gaming because they did come through the grand final. They were able to beat out LGD in a very convincing manner. It was a 2-0 in their best-of-3 winners bracket final, where Invictus Gaming, they had to go the hard road. They actually managed to knock out LGD in their game earlier today, and now into the grand finals. If they want to win this, they got to win 3 games, and could only drop 1 maximum.
I think IG though, they don't have a lot of pressure on them. They've got a relatively new roster with Burning coming up now, and I just think that there's not too much pressure on them to perform. Like, this looks a lot more like the TI3 roster than we've ever seen. Faith is reunited with Chuan, back from LGD actually, right? If I'm not mistaken. That was the last time he was on Faith.
Faith? Yeah, he was LGD.
And then he comes back to IG. They remove, it's June, and I can't remember who the other player was off the top of my head. And they grab Burning, which obviously is an upgrade over anybody. Just having Burning on your roster. And that's kind of surprising that he ended up at IG, but it's worked out pretty well for them. It seems like their drafting, honestly, seems really good recently for IG. It seemed like they were kind of coming into their own. And in the last 2 games especially, it looked like they drafted LGD into a corner. Because Sylar just didn't really have comfort heroes on him.
No.
5 seconds remaining.
Faith, ever since he took the reins, as you were saying, it's been a wonderful run for Invictus Gaming. I also feel like, and I was talking about this with Syndra and Ellie before, that the stepping up of Ferrari 430 is debatably, but I kind of want to flag it anyway, you could bet all you want, is the #1 solo mid in the world right now. He's just playing so well. He's out-laning almost any player he goes up against, even when the matchups don't favor him.
Yeah, if you want to talk about consistency, this guy has been at the top of his game since, what, TI2, when people were touting him as the best. And since then, you haven't really seen a drop-off in his play. Sometimes his teams have struggled. Like, the IG of the last 2 years hasn't been the best, but he's always had stellar play. And on the flip side, we've got Vici, who were on top of the game for the longest time. They won in ESL, they got second at DAC, they end up kicking Black for communication issues, and they pick up Hao, who I thought was one of the most consistent players for the last 3 years. And at first, it didn't look great. They lost to HGT, and then everyone was complaining. They were like, you guys made the wrong move.
Has VG Gaming now just killed themselves with what they did?
Yeah, but that was way too dramatic. It was just the first, getting that transitional period out of the way, kind of learning how the team plays and stuff like that. You have to give it a bit more time. And now look at them. They're in the finals of D2CL, and they got here pretty easily, actually. Yeah. Without any hiccups.
I think they even lose 1 game coming through it. I've got to double check, and the answer is no. They went 2-0 over eHome and then 2-0 over LGD.
Yeah, and that's a really impressive LGD. Like, that squad has looked really consistent as of late. And I was actually pretty surprised
until this morning.
Yeah.
Until this morning when things just looked a little bit awry.
Yeah, it just looked like they kind of got drafted into a corner, and that's...
Which, it's a weird kind of thing to say that when it's Zhao Wei who's the man doing the
Yeah, exactly. I just think that Sylar wasn't on comfort heroes. Like, whenever I watch them play Necro, it just looks really wrong. Like, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't feel like a Sylar hero. We should talk about this draft, right?
Yeah, we probably should. It's that kind of filter time. We let them just get ourselves in the way before we start. Obviously, you're going to be a happy man. I think it's rather appropriate as well that Storm Spirit has picked up in this
for my first
game.
cast here, yeah.
Yeah, and a combination with the Treant Protector, which is getting played more and more and more by Chinese teams. We saw it with a combination with Phoenix earlier before. You had that overgrowth into Nova. I know in the European or the Western scene, I'm going to flag EG in the European scene, who were one of the first ones to really bring it back recently, where they ran that combination with Witch Doctor, Treant Protector, as well as the Nova from Phoenix. Yeah, not to mention the offlane is just so difficult to kill when you got the living armor. Phoenix, if you got a silence, then you got something to work with. But when you got that living armor to also be on top of him, the survivability just shoots through the roof.
Yeah, it really helps heroes like Storm too, because when you're playing against a Queen of Pain, it's a matchup disadvantage. Just no matter the way you look at it, it's in Queen of Pain's favor. I'd say 60% to 40, which is pretty hefty. Because Storm, he has a lot of armor. He's got like 5 base armor. He's got a lot of HP, but Queen of Pain just destroys him. But once you've got the Treant, Protector, Living Armor, you do that 2 or 3 times, and that's the only difficult part about the matchup, is the first 2-3 levels where she can just keep daggering you without any repercussions. But if you've got the Living Armor, then it makes it really easy. But the downside of picking up the Storm really early is that you picked it also into a Lion and a Queen of Pain, which are 2 of the better counters. Queen of Pain, this game, unless things go catastrophically wrong for her, should be getting an Orchid, and she should get it faster than him just because the laning phase will be a bit better. And Lion just makes your life so difficult. The instant Hex, the instant stun, just the really quick disables are what really, really screws over the Storm strat.
He's almost one of these heroes where you
10 seconds
wouldn't
remaining.
be as concerned. Obviously, be worried about the Queen of Pain's progression if she's not getting an
5
Orchid.
seconds remaining.
But even if she doesn't, the Lion's still going to be there to help out. Because he's just got to sit behind whoever's going to get
Reserve
initiated
time.
and start with the Hex. And there's nothing Storm Spirit can really do against that. BKB or no BKB, he's still going to get called out.
Yeah, exactly. Because the Lion Blink will come out at some point, and you'll see in the mid game the Lion should just sacrifice himself, blink in, get everything off on the Storm. Even if he dies at that point, you're still trading a position 4 for a position 1/2.
Yep.
Like Storm kind of plays the 1 role lately in a lot of lineups. So, and usually people denote that the roles or the numbers mean the role. Like if you're a 2, you're going mid, but it actually just means farm priority. So if you're playing the 1 position, it just means that the most farm is going your way.
Well, we actually saw that earlier today as well, with Phantom Assassins going towards the mid, because they just realized they can get more farm there instead. Nyx Assassin coming up for Invictus Gaming.
VG Gaming's
So
turn to pick.
more than likely we're looking towards the Nyx being the offlaner. A little concerned about him surviving, because I'm still not 100% certain what this Zeus role is,
Invictus
if it's a support
Gaming's
or a
turn
core,
to pick.
because the Zeus has been played in almost every single position in just the last week. He's been from support to mid solo to offlane. I think the only position I haven't seen him in is the number 1 position.
Yeah, it's just such a strong hero. The ultimate too, you don't necessarily have to use it to KS or set up kills. You can just use it for information. I think C9 actually does that a lot. They pick Big Daddy No Tail to
10
Zeus
seconds
just to use that
remaining.
ultimate once in a while to figure out where everybody is off on the map.
Yep.
If there's like a
5
smoke gank going
seconds
on, if there's a
remaining.
secret Roshan attempt, they can set up and know for it. And so the hero itself, it's not constrained
Reserve
by a
time.
lane like you said. That's another strong pick by it. You don't really draft around the Zeus. You're not like, that's a mid Zeus anymore. Like it's just become such a versatile pick. And the dewarding factor with it too. Like you have a support that can essentially deward every 30 or like 10
Lina.
seconds.
Yeah.
Just goes around bolting the map.
Well, hello to
VG
Lina.
Gaming's
So
turn to ban.
the Chorn hero gets to arrive, unless we're throwing that in towards the mid for Ferrari up against Quap. But that's, I'm going to put it as a highly unlikely situation. But she doesn't really have a proper setup to work with, so
10 seconds
maybe they do have to
remaining.
run this Lina as a core in order to reach that Blink Dagger Yule Scepter build.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
that or what, she relies on the Nyx Assassin stun or the Vortex from Storm Spirit. That doesn't seem to be adequate enough, especially going up. Well, then again, how is she meant to
Invictus
initiate onto a hero like a
Gaming's
Lifesteal
turn
who's
to
going to
ban.
have Rage to break free of that?
Yeah, exactly. Because I think even if you Yules, there's a really weird timing where you can still get stuff like the Rage or the Juggernaut spin-off, so you should be relatively safe from that. I do like the Lina pick lately, though. I think it's actually Vici
10
that run it.
seconds remaining.
Like their last 2 games, they ran it as a support. I can't remember. I think it was
5 seconds remaining.
FY that actually played it, though. So you could see this as a denial
VG
pick just as much as it was a pick
Gaming's
that
turn to pick.
they want to play. And you're actually checking for me?
I am actually checking for you.
Is it their last game
They
that they
actually
played?
played it in all 3 of their last games. They played it in both the games up against LGD, and they played it in one of the games up against eHome, and they played it, in fact, in the lineup up against IG. They had a 1-1 result with that one when they ran the Lina.
If you think about it, too, it's one of the better heroes against Lifestealer. Because what makes Lifestealer so bad is that
remaining.
once Rage ends, you get kited. But once he pops his Rage, the Lina
5
will just Laguna
seconds
Blade him.
remaining.
And even if you're a 5-position roll, that's still getting 400, 500 damage off the bat really
Reserve
quickly on him.
time.
And that'll change the way that he plays as well. So I really like the Lina pick as a counter to both the way that Vici drafts and the Lifestealer.
Well, let's see how VG Gaming want to wrap up their lineup. So is this going to be a support Zeus, or is it going to be a offlane Zeus? right now we know it's not going to be a mid unless Queen of Pain goes to the offlane. We did see that earlier today. In fact, Luo was the man who was running it as the offlaner for IG.
Yeah, I think the Queen of Pain, you could go mid with it. It'll do okay against the Storm. Probably not as well as you'd want it. I don't think Zeus against Storm is okay. Both of them just trade farm. All right, with that pick, I don't think that's a mid.
No, that's
Zeus anymore.
That's a nice size profit.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that's nice size profit. But Nature's Prophet, we see this guy hardly ever. In fact, I swear Ice Frog hates this hero because he nerfs Shadowblade. So then you're like, well, okay, my split push is now horrendous. Abra Bulldog tried to bring it back with the Blink Maelstrom, and that sort of worked for a while, and then we just saw Clockworks and Storm Spirits. But you're picking a Nature's Prophet actually into a Storm Spirit as well. How is this meant to work? How is this supposed to function? And then a Razor pickup who's meant to be the counter to the Lifestealer damage with that static link. And it's actually FY. So I get to be 100% wrong, and that's a support profit. That's a jungle profit.
I'm not entirely sure how...
Is this meant to be a gank and not really... Like, is he meant to be a roaming profit? Is he meant to be that TP guy that comes in, helps out the Zeus, and just lets Lion solo smoke for a rotation? Is that the way they could be doing this?
I guess they could do that, and they're giving it to FY. But the problem is, I think they need a Blink Dagger on Lion at a reasonable time. But with FY in the jungle...
10 seconds remaining.
I guess he doesn't need the most farm. I'm a little bit skeptical as well of the Nature's Prophet pick. I know some teams pick it as a really greedy 4, just with the way that the metagame works out. But I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be the one that works this game. Because there is a Nyx on the other team, and a Storm Spirit, and you've got the Tree and Protector who can lead in with his invisibility. And so I'm a little bit skeptical about how this goes, but these are better players than I am, obviously, so we'll see.
Well, luckily we could analyze them from a wonderful vantage point. So no matter what happens, we can work out if it's going to be a successful thing or not. Just if you have tuned in, welcome to the broadcast. We are getting ourselves underway for game number 1 of VG Gaming versus Invictus Gaming. VG, as you can see with the 1 pip already to their name, have that 1 game advantage over Invictus Gaming as they did come through the winners bracket final. The winner of this best of 5 will travel to the LAN finals hosted here in Europe for the D2CL, and should be an awesome event. We still got a lot more teams to come through the European division. We've got more of those games coming up later tonight. That'll be cast by Dota as well as friends. So make sure you tune in for that one. It'll be right here on our Join at a Red live stream. But for the grand final for the Chinese scene, you got myself as well as Blitz. We are your commentators. We don't have it on the screen, but I'm sure everyone can share our stuff.
Yeah, they understand. Right.
So they know who Blitz is.
Do they though?
they kind of should. Initially, they probably didn't because they couldn't have hear you. I never realized that you speak so softly.
Do I?
Yeah, I actually have you cranked about 3 times more than I have to crank Durka. And he's the quietest one out of me, Cap, and him.
You know what it is? I'm just a soft-spoken person in general. I talk a lot, but at a low volume.
Why are you so soft, Blitz?
I'm just shy, man. That's really what it is. Once you get to know me a little bit more, I'll speak a little bit louder.
There's 23,000 people watching right now that might get to know you a little bit more.
Okay. That doesn't make things a little bit more awkward.
No.
It seems like my game is completely frozen off.
Just DC and reconnect back in again. Sometimes you gotta do it a couple of times before it's gonna work.
Okay.
It's... No!
Oh.
No!
Rookie mistake.
You almost left the game!
I'll just watch it off yours for now while I reconnect.
That can work. Luckily I'm a half-decent observer that hasn't missed First Blood ever since I came back from CSGO.
Yeah,
oh yeah, sorry, we're tuning in for a later CSGO cast right now, according to Twitch chat. I hope you're all enjoying the show. Unfortunately, no Walpers in this game.
There are smokes though.
There are smokes. But where's your flashbang? There's a flash from Zeus's lights.
It's very spooky if you look into it.
Yeah.
So they actually decided to aggro and they put this Zeus at bottom against the Razor in the tree. And I think this is a really intelligent choice because Ice with the Zeus can just farm out with the Arc Lightning. Like, the auto attack range actually doesn't matter at all, and so he should be able to survive. And I think contesting this top lane actually really works out for Vici as well, because they can just have the Nature's Prophet rotate, and with the Rage, I don't think that this Lifestealer can die unless he really messes up, and it's actually taking quite a lot of damage, and he hasn't skilled up yet. I think he's just waiting to see if an opportunity arises.
Yeah. Right now, I just love the fact that VG Gaming read this, or IG read this. The fact that we've got ourselves with this dual lane situation VG are still running like a jungle Prophet, which is still kind of crazy because he built a null talisman, so we must be looking at the blade mail build for the Nature's Prophet, and he's mismicroing one of his trees, so he's just managed to stop one of his camp from spawning up. But with a haste rune, they could look for a first kill, and it's over on Faith. Ice is right behind me. Didn't go for the lightning bolt. He just went for the static field as well as the arc lightning. And Faith has to living armor himself up with FY keeping up. Puts the trees in front of him, not getting the body block. Faith is able to walk around him, but the tree's now in front. Is there enough? The haste rune's still there. This should be the first blood on Faith, and it will be. The damage is being dealt to Ice, but Burning cannot reach him for the second plasma field. So it will be a 1-0, and this Nature's Prophet jungle is able to get the first blood and solo experience on the offlane support tree.
Yeah, and that's so huge. This pick in general is a little bit greedy, but being able to get that first kill is really going to accelerate his farm, and it's going to make this greediness pay off, because How at top still has an okay amount of farm, and the Razor only has 4 more above him, so this kind of works out for Vichi's favor.
They should really be careful though for VG Gaming, because Luo is hitting level 4. So this Vendetta is going to arrive pretty early, and I'm wondering if IG are even considering switching their lanes up when that happens. Just to find some level of opening for a kill. Be on super, so Ferrari is able to completely win his mid. So he's already been looking pretty good. Ice is going to go down to Burning's plasma field. He was just trying to outrun a Razor, and that's not going to happen in any situation.
Yeah, they actually had equal move speed is the funny part. And I think Burning didn't really consider that, and then he throws out his plasma field. It catches him at the very end. That was like perfect read of the radius, because if it had done it a little bit earlier, it would have completely whiffed. And at top, How looks like he's taking a little bit of harassment, but it should be okay. I mean, they are getting a lot of farm out of the Nature's Prophet. The Queen of Pain, it looks like, is trading evenly with the Storm, which is a little bit expected, especially with this tree armor. And just the way that the Storm is playing out. He's just focusing on trying to get as much farm as he can, so that his mid game is okay.
Fenrir can't just guess wrong there. He came up looking for a kill on Ferrari, but they're gonna at least deny him the DD rune. Ice harassing Ferrari back. That's a level 1 lightning bolt. That's gonna do very, very little. But Fenrir smoked up and then sat on top of the hill waiting for Ferrari to move up for that top rune. Didn't work, so he has to come back to the lane.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised actually that Ferrari actually decided to go for the bottom rune, because you can assume that the line at top, it'll be harder for him to rotate, and it's really easy for the Nature's Prophet to either send in a tree in, or just like he did right there, come with Ice to deny the rune. Alright, we've hit this good timing. Super is actually 6. Here he goes. They actually anticipated this though, and his blink is on cooldown as well.
Yeah, this is problematic. Super, he can't blink our way, so bottle charges won't save him. The only choice he had was to run up the river. And Ferrari able to find that kill. That's the first notch on his belt. He doesn't even have to really move back at all, because the living armor is going to bring him straight back up with that tango charge, and the bottles coming out in the courier.
Yeah, so Super did.
Well, they do find one opening up on top. It's going to be Luo and FY. Well, they all get Spy Carapace stunned up, but FY with the boots, they're going to attack directly into the tree. So Livestealer gets the last hit there. So the safe lane Nyx Assassin will still drop, so it is a bit of a trade-off. And this is one of these things which I know I wasn't really looking for, was Nature's Prophet. You kind of forget about him being in the jungle.
He's actually got a lot of farm too, and look at how much damage he does. He's got treads, he's got a null talisman. He's been active in 2 kills already. His farm isn't the greatest thing, but again, like you said, he kind of went for this build where he's going to be a little bit more active on the map. But in mid, Super did what I would have done. You hit 6 on the Queen of Pain, you see that the Storm is level 5. You want to try to get an advantage on him. You get a little bit too over-eager. And I think IG realized that. They rotated Chuan so early in anticipation of the Queen of Pain hitting 6 like that. And they were able to get the kill, and now that Ferrari has that, he should A, be unkillable at this point, and B, I think he's actually quite a bit ahead in net worth now for the time.
Yeah, what are we actually looking at? 2.7k up against the 1.9k?
Yeah, and you're picking this Lina as a lane winner as well, and so for Storm to be doing that well, it's not that great for Vici, but on the flip side, their off lanes worked out. Ice is slowly and surely kind of getting levels. He's not doing the best, but you've got this Nature's Prophet who's been available in 2 kills so far, so that's a bit of a trade-off.
Yeah. They're getting more balanced farm more than anything else for VG Gaming. Everyone's getting a bit of everything, apart from Lion, who is level 4 at least, but not much more beyond that. But looking to bottom lane. But Faith sees him perfectly. It's Burning with treads that can switch him to strength treads as well. So the chance of finding a kill down here is pretty low, because Ice doesn't have the mana for it. In fact, Ice is getting pretty close to finishing up his Soul Ring.
Oh, and a top.
Oh, they found the opening.
There you go.
How do you get past that that BKB ability like Rage?
You just have to get 6 on Chuan, and then everything becomes okay. That's why I'm such a big fan of this support. He's actually TPing at bottom. Looks like he wants to try to make something happen.
They're going to go for Ice. Faith's body block him inside Nature's guys. They do have a level 3 plasma field, but with the double stun coming out from Fenrir, Ice turns the kill off Faith because Wrath of Nature is already up. The slave from Chuan off target.
Wow, Ice. He just kind of churned up, was able to dodge it, was able to survive as well. That would have been a good rotation from Chuan if they were able to get that kill, but at top, Hao should realize that as well, that the TP came down, so he shouldn't be afraid. And look, he's just farming off of this.
I love too where FY has now moved to. So expecting the fact that Nyx Assassin will probably have Vendetta up, he's going to go looking for kills or like ganks elsewhere. He's just gone to the dark jungle.
This is the safest place on the map for him though, because if you know that the Storm is in the mid lane, you aren't really afraid of anything. The only thing that you should be worried about is if the Storm does rotate to jungle, which he eventually will, then you have to get the hell out of there.
Yep.
But for this 8-minute mark timing, yeah, this is a really good place for him to farm. And if you notice, he's actually second highest net worth on Vici.
Are they going to go for a bomb? That's another thing.
The TP bomb?
Yeah, the TP bomb. We haven't even looked at that one. Just the Infested to Nature's Prophet and take him wherever you want to. And yeah, here we go. And he's going to TP up to the top lane and Burning. He's only just arrived here. He's only just put down the fresh carpet on this top lane into open wounds.
Surprise!
And Hal with Faith Boots, he's going to rip apart Burning. This Nature's Prophet is paying off perfectly.
Yeah, that was unexpected. Burning definitely didn't see that coming. And it's so hard to prepare for that too, because
you haven't seen it in so long.
Yeah, exactly. And Burning's positioning was okay. He was relatively close to the tower. Nothing was too close to him, but at top, the Nyx is on the hunt. He does have the stun available. He doesn't have anything else though.
Is everyone just going to TP? He's got a Storm Spirit. That's what he's got. Yeah. So they're at least able to find that opening.
They definitely needed to. And this is kind of the hopes right now of IG, is that Ferrari's done a good job. He didn't get dominated by the Queen of Pain. In fact, he's actually quite far ahead in net worth now. And so if you get Ferrari online, he can do a lot this game.
Can Ferrari die now? Thunder God's Wrath into Wrath of Nature.
Oh, wow.
Is that actually enough? We have to remember Team Global.
That's true as well.
Oh, his bottle just arrived. It's not enough anymore. His bottle arrived.
I don't even know if they risked that 100%. The timing would have to be perfect.
Their observer ward sees it, because they left one behind inside the dire jungle. That was actually throwing
Oh, he's actually getting... Oh, no. Okay, yeah, it's just not enough.
It didn't reach him.
They're pinging it out, though, so they know the ward's there.
It didn't hit him, though.
Did it? Oh,
no,
it bounced on the Centaur and
it didn't hit. Did he just run out of jumps, maybe?
Yeah, I guess that had to have been it.
It hit the creep next to him, but didn't bounce over. With the observer ward, it wasn't a fog of war thing. He definitely saw him.
Yeah, the other thing that just revealed, too, is that IG definitely know the ward's there. They ping that out, so farming there is going to be a little bit worrisome. Queen of Pain does have a DD, but she's gotten quite behind in farm now. Just picking up her treads right now, super.
While they're not fighting, I have to do my disconnect, reconnect thing.
Okay, I'll just kind of commentate and tell you what's going on. Oh wait, no, you can.
I can see.
Yeah, you can see on my screen.
This isn't the world of Skype anymore.
I keep forgetting.
I can actually look over at your screen and see if anything major is happening. But don't worry, it's only a couple of seconds to connect in.
Yeah, and Burning's going for this mech build, so not a late game thing at all. They're trying to go probably for this sort of mid game timing. Split push the map a little bit with this Storm Spirit. And a top.
Yeah, trouble for Lifestealer. He's still got Infest available. He's running for the creep. Or maybe, okay, one of the bigger ones. Get in there. And what are you going to do? You gave 56 points of damage over. And Burning's actually pushing the creep wave faster. So he's going to have time to get out of here. And they got to respond. They can't just sit here camping their own melee creep to wait for the Lifestealer to come out, because down in bottom lane, the attack's going to come. Faith, he doesn't have ultimate, so we cannot control Fenrir and FY. FY's going to let that Wrath of Nature go. I want to look up
Fenrir has no mana too.
Is Hal actually trying to battle this one? He's going to TP out, and actually got out in time. He went down to the bottom lane. The Lion still ended up dying. So was it really worth the trade? Lion went down and you did significant damage to the tier 1 tower in mid, which is where Prophet ended up TPing into. He's going to take this tower down unless Burning can get the denial, which he can, right in front of Super and FY. But with the support of Luo, that scream onto Chuan into the Sonic Wave. Chuan's going to drop. Ice, he's got enough for another Arc Lightning, but Burning trapped inside the Sprout, trying to run himself away, successful to do so. And the Living Armor is going to protect Luo. But your tier 1 tower is still going to drop. It was still a 1-for-1 trade-off.
Yeah, and you just saw the weakness of Lina right there, is that she tried to land her stun, was just a little bit too off. If you don't have that setup stun, it's way too risky. And Ferrari, he's just spread a little bit too thin. He had a TP bottom just to get that lion kill, and like you said, he left Hao alone at top. Then he has to run all the way back mid where the real fight's happening. Imagine if he had a TP there. So now the lion dying at bottom isn't the worst thing in the world for you if you're VG Gaming.
I'm liking how our Russian commentator is also taking this pause break.
It's a good time. He saw this coming. We didn't.
I don't think you could really see the players going lag.
It's amateur hour over here at Join Dota that we can't predict that stuff.
Oh my god! I thought you were meant to make us professional.
I'm trying, man.
It's the Korean factor that's meant to come in here. Super getting stunned up against the illusion rune of Luo. Yeah, just get the hell out of there. There's no reason for him to try and fight. There wasn't enough mana. Had lost Sonic Wave, so not really worth it. We're getting a drums over on the Lifestealer too. So we've got combat build for the Lifestealer. Considering we are seeing more and more Lifestealer, mainly from VG Gaming, I don't know if there's any other teams really playing it. What's your favorite build to see on the Lifestealer in the current meta?
I think the drums into Armlet is fine. I know that the old build used to be common to go like drums S and Y. That's okay too, but I think the Armlet's gonna be pretty useful this game. You definitely need an Abyssal at some point for the Storm. I don't know, I feel like there's just so many items that he has to get, and he's not exactly farming the best. Like, he just picks up his drums right now. I'm not a big fan though of Ferrari going for this Bloodstone over the Orchid, because I feel like if you go Orchid, you can actually kill the Lifestealer quite easily, and going for this Bloodstone build first is just a little bit more farm intensive.
It might also bite him in the ass, because you pick up that Bloodstone, that might be a nice point, but you're still up against a Lion Finger of Death, with Zeus letting his ulti rip and Lightning Bolt, and you got Wrath of Nature on this.
Oh,
that's a lot of stacked damage, and yeah, well, this smoke movement not going to work. The Sentry Ward's down, so they saw Faith for a short moment, and they'll see him even more when the Lightning Bolt secondary Sentry Ward. Faith, he can't get to the edge of the ring, so they'll lose 2 inside their own jungle. And the support came in from IG, but it might be a little bit too late. They got 3 players here, and they're going to find Fenrir. Fenrir just standing still. He didn't realize the Vendetta Nyx was right behind him. Hao will go for the play, but who's he going to have a crack at when that static link connects? He's got no other choice but to back out. But he's going to infest on top of Super.
Oh, Chuan is stuck in no man's land.
He tried to almost duke it out, but with the rage up from Hao, he's got this in the bag. Almost Super! Can't get the last attack in. But while IG have been battling out, FY is doing profity things and pushing in the mid. He's actually not going to go for the Blade Mail build. He's going directly in for an Orchid.
Yeah, and you've got that Queen of Pain that has the Robe of the Magi too, so you can safely assume she's going to get one as well. And that's why I feel like this Bloodstone pickup is really questionable. I think that he should have gone for the Orchid, and I'm not just saying that because that's what I would do. I just think in general it pays off more against the type of lineup. Like, if you have an Orchid, you can solo kill a Queen of Pain, even if the Queen of Pain has an Orchid as well. Yep. Just because you can Orchid while you fly over and pull her simultaneously, and you'll get a free kill off of that. And you could also do that against the Lifestealer before he gets his Rage off. But without that Orchid, and he's going straight for this Bloodstone, I don't really think he's going to be very useful in these team fights.
Maybe he's looking from the other angle where he feels he'll require more mana pull in order to jump and chase after Nature's Prophet. Maybe that's the mindset.
I guess, but even then, it's pretty negligible. Like, the damage that you'll get out of Orchid and the distance closing that you get from Orchid alone is too good, I feel, to pass up against this lineup. Because once Vici gets an Orchid as well on their team and they get aggressive, there's not a whole lot that Ferrari can do. Like, he's against both a Lion, 2 Orchids at that point, and you've got a Bloodstone, and then what? You have to build a BKB, so your damage is lacking at that point as well. I'm not too big of a fan of this.
Hao's trying to defend the bottom, but they brought 4 players down here from IG. The only one missing is the Storm Spirit. And with the Light Strike Array coming out from the tree line, they know there's more help down here. But in the meantime, FY is just having the time of his life. Like, he's literally Patrick Swayze with Baby in the corner, pushing in the top lane and taking out the tier 2 tower pretty soon. Yeah, while Hao waits, Fenrir has been so patient. I think he actually got scouted out by that melee creep. Hao able to rage up. He's going to infest into the melee creep. There goes Jesus ultimate. combining it up with the Wrath of Nature, a heavy amount of damage into IG. The Living Arm is protecting Ferrari as he's gone in deep. He's by himself here, so low, 190 HP. The Sonic Wave, it reaches that deep into the tree line. Nick's Assassin, he was trying to run inside of Vendetta. He was in range of the tower for vision, and Super just screams him down. They can move over to Chorn now. How inside the rage is protected. The Sprout actually pushing Chorn further over towards Super, but Nature's Prophet that gets the pickup. 3 heroes lost for IG. They went so deep to find that kill on the Live Stealer, and the Infest made them wait so long.
Yeah, it was so unfortunate for them. And on top of that, it's so chancy because they keep having to use this Lina stun to set up because the Nyx can't dive in that far, and it just looks so awkward. It's either the type of gank that you're going for there is so desperate. It's if the Light Strike Array hits, we might kill, and it did hit there, but they weren't able to burst him. And if it doesn't hit, then you've just wasted 5 heroes' time to maybe get a kill off on that. I don't really see how that's supposed to pay off. I think the Storm has to go in first if you want that to work out. And now look at VG Gaming's lineup. FY, he's like the 1 position at this point. Like he's got an Orchid as well.
He's got 200 more net worth, or almost 300 more net worth than the Live Stealer does, because he's got 216. He's been given all the space up on the top lane to farm up. This also means we're going to get a very quick level 2 Wrath of Nature. So the damage increase is getting higher and higher. And because Ice is being part of these fights, like he's got his Thunder God's Wrath now back off cooldown. That was missing before. I don't understand why IG's doing this again. Are they forced to fight? Is this really the position IG is in?
I guess the Storm could farm out the map, but now that Nature's Prophet, he's shown that he has the Orchid. It's impossible for the Storm to solo
look at him
farm
go.
Unless they decide that
Super
they're going
with
to
a haste rune. They let the Thunder God's Wrath go, the Wrath of Nature. Looks like it's not going to be available. Okay, yeah, it is. It's bouncing through them. It won't reach up to Chuan. So we're using that Infest Bomb. They bring down the Nyx Assassin. Super's locked in the trees. He's got his blink back off cooldown, and they got the Sprout on top of Burning. He's got nowhere to go. Nature's guy is trying to help him, because obviously you got extra trees there to help you out, but the Sentry Ward was in range. So they lose another 2, and this will be the death of the Tier 1 tower. IG cannot defend this. The Storm is not ready to fight, and VG Gaming is ready to push.
Yeah, so what Vici did to really set this up is, if you remember at like the 12-minute mark when Storm and Tree were in the jungle, that's generally what you want to do with the Storm. You want to get into the enemy's team jungle because you have enough mobility to farm it out, get in and out, quickly farm out the jungle. But Vici, they saw through that, because that's like a pub move that even I do, is that you farm out the enemy jungle, you create space in your own jungle for your team to catch up, but by doing so, Vici, they invade that jungle, they were able to catch both out, so now the Storm's a little bit hesitant to move down there. And so where's he really going to go? If he goes in the top lane, FY's there waiting with an Orchid, so you can't really contest him 1-for-1. Going in the mid lane, you don't have a tower, and now that you've established this much map control with this Orchid this early, I don't really think it's plausible for him to really farm anywhere by himself.
Yeah. Because what's he going to do? He's going to jump over on Nature's Prophet, he Orchids him up, and there's not much more to do.
Oh, and at top though,
yeah, maybe
it does
Luo,
look he's going to finally find him.
He needs FY to get hit. Like, almost FY had to run in range of that Centaur for this to fully work. Okay, maybe it is still enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's enough damage, because the Nature's Prophet only has 780 HP right there. That's a free kill for...
It was also an Intel Trez, which didn't help.
Yeah, I think he was going to die regardless, but this is the kind of stuff that you want to do. You want to open up the map, you want to gank the Nature's Prophet that's farming out the jungle in the top lane. Going for that 5-man weird death push at bottom is definitely not the move at this point, but I think you sort of have to do that just because there's so many heroes on IG that are underfarmed.
But you go for the desperate place. At least it gets to pay off this time around, but I'm still seeing a Nature's Prophet with so much money. I'm looking at the top 3 net worths, and with Quap, Lifestealer, and Prophet, they're almost holding hands as far as this net worth goes. But for me, I think the major problem is who's at the bottom of that. This Tree and Protector, he's got 849. He's got boots and a couple of branches and a clarity. Like, that's whoopity-doo-dah. That's not a lot to write home about. And Chuan, I suppose the advantage for him is the fact that Nature's Guise is allowing him to get into position, as opposed to having to use a Blink Dagger to do the work.
Yeah, but if you have your support stun that's unreliable, and the Nyx stun, yeah, it's not the worst thing to try to get off, but at the same time, in large-scale engagements, if you're trying to find out specific heroes, it's hard to get in close, especially with sentries up everywhere. It's a positional game, and it's going to be really hard for Luo to land the stuns, and then you've got the Lina one as well. You're really gambling there, and I think that the Nyx pick, it was meant to be less greedy. You just wanted a hero that could do stuff, because you already have a Storm that's going to clear out the map, but it just hasn't really paid off.
This is so good. So good. They're coming in for Burning. Super's going to blink. Goes for the sting. How comes out? They'll take out Faith at the rear end. The Sonic Wave to ensure the quick kill, including the Thunder God's Wrath. This was all set up by Nature's Prophet, TPing on top of the hill, dropped an Observer Ward, and then he used a TP scroll to get straight back out again. Never revealed he was there, saw the Razor, and sets up for the smoke gank. That's just a superb 30 seconds worth of Dota.
Yeah, and then on top of that, if you notice something really important, in all of these ganks, none of Vici are using their Orchids. Like, they are actually just waiting for Ferrari to hard commit. This is the anti-Ferrari play. Like, you've got 2 Orchids, you've got a Lion. Nobody's using those Orchids until they see Ferrari in the fights.
It's like they've read IG perfectly.
Yeah, I was really a little bit skeptical about this Nature's Prophet play, but they just kind of out-greedied IG. They realized that the supports were immobile, that they weren't going to be able to punish it either.
There's a lot of TPs coming in, but with the delayed TP, they're not going to reach him in time. VG Gaming can just back the hell out. Even if they have to trigger a drum charge to get away, they can do so.
Yeah, you don't really care about that. A drum charge at that point, that's fine to use. It's not going to make or break a difference in these team fights.
No, I'm just talking to outrun Burning. That's the only thing I was looking at. So IG have TP'd in, but we've got the movement speed. No matter what IG does, they can't chase down VG.
Yeah, so there's a Bloodstone completed on Ferrari. So as soon as he gets double Orchided, he can suicide really quickly, which I think is the play.
Really?
I mean, what else do you do at this point?
He doesn't do anything.
I mean, what?
Because even then, like suicide is the only option he has. Because he's going to run out of mana. These Necro books are going to start to arrive too, because that's what Nature's Prophet's building into. You got a Nature's Prophet that didn't have to build a Hand of Midas, but 22 minutes in is looking to complete his level 1 Necro book.
Yeah. Alright, so here's the ideal scenario for IG, okay? I'll lay it out. So Faith has to get his Overgrowth off, and Burning has to be in the middle of everything, and then you have to get the initiation off with the Nyx on either the Queen of Pain or the Nature's Prophet. Because you can play against 1 Orchid, I think with good positioning, but against 2 it's too difficult. But you have to get the Overgrowth off on both of those heroes, I feel. Because Ferrari right now, it's so hard for him to play around. Like, there's just so much for him to worry about, and he's just been farming. But the issue is that Burning, he's going for this BKB, he's got a mech. This is the standard build, I guess, for Razor, but Razor isn't the best ultra late game hero. It's good against Lifestealer because you can't rage off the static link, but it doesn't seem to really be mattering in these fights because he goes down so quickly.
Yeah. So the Razor either dies quickly or he just infests into another target. Luo, they have a jam.
They know. No, they threw down the Thunder God's Wrath.
Lightning Bolt. He's got one more in 2 seconds. They throw down the Sentry Ward. They know he's at least gone left. The secondary bolt, and Prophet TP's in. He's only got level 1 Necro units. They go for the Orchid again. The stun's off target, the Sprout.
Oh
Luo is just on a run. The mission from God. They can't reach him with another stun. He's out. He's actually home and hose after 4 players chase him. Nature's Prophet. I know he's got a Necro book. He's done so much work. Maybe he wants to carry some dust.
Yeah, that just looked really awkward. I feel as if they could have gotten the kill on him if they had just landed like 1 of those bolts, but still not enough damage. Good move by Luo. I mean, that's just a good ult by the Zeus, scouting things out. Just he sees everybody spread off the map. You might as well check for that. It was just really unfortunate timing by Luo. Like, they didn't even have a ward or a sentry. Like, this one is freshly placed. The one that they just laid down in pursuit of him.
Yep.
So it was just a Zeus ult just to scout out the map, see what's going on. If you're not getting into an engagement, it's fine. Like, look at the cooldown. It's only 90 seconds. It's almost up again.
Yeah. And because you got that, the cooldown timer, even with the level 1 Wrath of Nature, that matches up because it's 90 seconds and he's at 75 right now. So you've always got that combination ultimate.
Yeah, exactly.
You remember like the old Team Global combos. Like, you throw out Thunder God's Wrath, you have like Nyx Assassin that sets you up. So just one Invis hero or Bounty Hunter would do the job too. And then you just let the combo go. FY? Oh no. He tried to Sprout and push Luo away from him. The Lightning Bolt's gonna go, and yeah, that's not enough damage to find the kill on Nyx. Yeah,
and Luo right now is the saving grace for IG. He's been making stuff happen. He's the only person that's been able to press out that Nature's Prophet, and he's got his Blink Dagger as well. Because Ferrari can't. You don't want to be on the map.
Oh, super.
I want to admit.
He just blinked into Chwamp, but he's got help, and they're gonna go over to Ferrari.
He almost has his Orchid up.
Now it's up, but it's too late. Ferrari's already zipped himself away and TP to safety.
Yeah, and that was just awkward. Chuan definitely didn't expect that. They thought they were going to get a kill on Super for free.
I don't think Super were expecting that, because he blinked into 2 smoked heroes. He didn't see either of those heroes in mid.
Yeah, and actually, look at Luo again.
They're coming to bottom. with the Observer Ward already up on top of the cliffside,
Oh,
they see Faith. He jumps into the tree line, the Scream, the Orchid, and Detection coming out from the Zeus. With that Lightning Bolt again going to work.
Oh, how did the build that I said?
Yeah, he went for the armlet.
Yeah, you have to go for the S and Y and the drums, I feel, with the phase roots, because you have to outrun the static link.
Luo, 3-man stun.
There's the Ravage.
Walks himself away. It's probably just as effective as one.
Burning
but how?
comes in, though.
Ripping apart Chuan. Whoa, he at least has a Laguna Blade to get the kill. But in comes Ferrari, dragging FY back by his heels. Ice, no more damage to give. IG are taking a fight. Set up by Luo and punished by Luo. 3 players going the way of the Nyx Assassin. You talk about him doing stuff, that's stuff, and that's doing.
Yeah, I know Luo gets criticized a lot. People say that he's the weak link, but his play this game has been really stellar. Like, Ferrari has not been the one that's making it happen. It's almost entirely Luo. You see him pick off the Nature's Prophet twice. You see that huge stun at bottom. Like, if they don't get that 3-man stun off at bottom, they're probably able to fight that. And for once, Vici were kind of sloppy with their Orchid usage. They tried to use it on Burning, weren't able to burst him down. And it's a Razor. You're not going to be able to lay down enough damage on him. He's almost got a BKB. He's got a Magic Wand, a mech on top of that.
He's got another one. This is Fenrir's death.
Oh, he misses it actually for once. That's
just after we're praising him. He's going to wait for the Spy Carapace. The Finger of Death will be used. Sentry Wards, Ice. Bolt number 1. The Living Arm is protecting him. But the Yule Scepter up into the air buys more time for now Hal to also arrive. And I'm waiting for my announcement to tell him to get the kill. He got the kill.
You know what?
Never praise another player again, Blitz.
I still, regardless, independent of what just happened, he's still been the space creator for IG this game.
It's just like the goldfish memory. Well, who remembers really that triple kill he just got on bottom lane?
Yeah, exactly.
All we remember is the crap, missed the impale.
That stun was so well placed as well, and Ferrari right now, it has to be Luo because he's expendable. Ferrari has to get his farm. You can't lose Bloodstone charges this early in the game, and Ferrari, he has to just power farm this BKB before he's going to get useful. And actually, he's going to get it before Vici can really do anything. Now the Orchids look a lot weaker. Now I kind of look dumb, but whatever. I mean, I thought at this point Vici would have a bigger lead than they did, so that was my mistake. But Luo with that game-saving stun at bottom, able to catch off 3-4 heroes off. And that just kind of puts IG in a much better position than they were 2 minutes ago.
Now, that might also be the overconfidence here of VG Gaming. For the fact that they didn't purchase a gem up against the Nyx Assassin, you're relying on Zeus to spam out Lightning Bolt after Lightning Bolt. But that's not 100% detection.
Yeah, for sure. The only problem is if you give up the gem this early, it's going to make life a little bit more miserable for you. I think that you save it for the death push.
How? Be very careful. Luo just went to have a look to see if Hal's going to need any friends. He doesn't have the armor up, he doesn't have the rage, he's got Infest and reaches the target. He's in the range creep. That's very easy to pick it up. That's not the plan he wanted. They even throw out that overgrowth to ensure he goes down, and that's a monster kill spree ended by Ferrari, and that's his full BKB because of this. And because of the work that Luo did on bottom lane, he got Ferrari up to 10 Bloodstone charges, now reaching 11. Looks like there will be some level of trade, but the Living Armor's helping him out. The stun will be there from Fenrir to make sure he does go down. But it's a Lena for a Nyx.
Yeah, and that was a spree as well, and it looks like IG are on hot pursuit. They know that those 3 heroes are there. Can Luo do it again?
Throw it again? Ferrari's going to jump in. Now he can do the work.
There's the Orchid up. Oh, but he's got his BKB now.
Yep.
He's just going to zip out of there. Not enough mana. IG don't look set up either. It's just the 2 of them.
That was the huge kill, as I said before, that the Lifestealer was able... he got on Lifestealer. That's where the injection of money came to finish that BKB. So it couldn't have come at a better time.
Yeah, if they weren't able to get that, he wouldn't have had it at this point. But, I mean, now that he's got his BKB, things get a lot easier for him. I think he just has to immediately go on either the Lion or the Nature's Prophet in every single fight. The damage from him is a little bit underwhelming. Like, he only used Treads, and I guess that's about it for stats. He's got the BKB, which gives you 24 damage, but it's kind of negligible at this point. You definitely need Burning and Luo to be able to get off abilities. Burning's getting really tanky, though.
And he is. But I'm still not feeling the damage coming out from him, which is kind of what you search for from Razor. The Storm Spirit's that jump in, and Lena is that nice little bit of burst damage against the heroes, but there's nothing to push against the buildings at the moment.
Yeah, and
he kind of needs to reach that Aghanim Scepter after finishing the AC.
I think against in this game the way that Burning is building is perfectly fine, just because you just want to survive long enough to drain enough damage from Hal to be able to survive these fights. And I was actually just gonna say Vici should go do Roshan because they neglected to, and being the bad observer that I am, they actually went on. Like I could see that they were doing it, and because I was just clicking around the map on IG side.
Well, we'll need to get you in here so you can hear my perspective as well, because then you'll hear the Roshan being done.
To be fair, I just landed like 24 hours ago, and I'm already testing.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll hold your hand, Blitz. We'll hold your hand. Germany's not that much of a horrible place.
Yeah, and Vici are entering this jungle.
Oh,
this is the big fight, I think, for them. If they're able to get some pickoffs here.
But they got BKB over on Super. He can just blink himself up right now and let Hao go out. But Hao, he's going for the run. He's focusing on
he does so much damage.
He's got the Desolator on him. That's the reason why. Ferrari's jumping over towards the line. But where is your extra damage? F1's even triggering the Necro Books, fighting in here and burning all the damage, which he's stealing. At least the mech charge is able to keep him alive a little bit longer. But Super, they finish the job. There's the denial. Perfect Bloodstone usage.
I told you.
This after his teammates died. So he didn't even help him with his death.
Yeah, and that's the problem again with the Storm build, like I said, is that you have the BKB, you've got the Bloodstone, but it took you that long. It took you the full 9 seconds just to kill the Lion, who didn't... that was an ideal fight for IG. Like, the Lion didn't get a single ability off. Everything was uninterrupted for quite some time for the Storm Straight, but you just don't have enough damage. And Hao rips apart people. Like, he went to work on that Nyx Assassin. I think he, like, two-shot him, then he saw Chuan, and he's like, alright, I'll kill you too. And then you just get an immediate 3v5 for IG.
But you instantly drop the Nyx Assassin down to 1 armor. Like, that's the beautiful thing, because the fact he got the Desolator just after they finished Roshan, like, there was nothing IG could have done about that, because Nyx Assassin is not a tanky kind of guy. You bring him out of 1 armor, he's got 1100 HP. That's not enough. He couldn't even force stuff or do anything, and Spike Carapace won't protect him, because at that point, it's a raging life stealer.
Yeah, and you've got this... I mean, you've got this tree who is kind of useful in fights, and yeah, I see the synergy in IG's lineup. They were trying to lock down the life stealer, then you get the stuns off on Lina, her ult goes through the BKB, everything's great.
Lure! He found FY! Vendetta, Mana Burn, Necro units are available here. He's going to Orkin him up, and then just try and TP out, and then Ferrari over the side. Almost killing himself. If they let that Wrath of Nature off before instead of trying to TP out and fought that one, potentially he'll be killing Nyx Assassin right now as a trade-off.
Ferrari, he gets his first Oblivion Staff. I think once he gets his Orchid too, he should be able to find this line a lot easier. And, I mean, IG supports, I feel like, are the underwhelming part. I mean, Chuan, you need the Aghanim Scepter to be able to do the damage through the Rage, but, I mean, you don't even have a Blink Dagger. I mean, he's playing the 4-position role, but he's just so underfarmed at this point. And without that Aghanims, he doesn't really do anything to the Lifestealer. Like, I thought for some reason he was going to be able to get really greedy once the Nyx moves around at 6, but he just hasn't been able to pick up items. And just look at Faith's farm, too.
Ferrari a little bit too late, and also, again, that blink down by Super escapes from Lure. That Thunder God's Wrath being used in the same manner you were talking about earlier. You just use it as scouting more than anything else.
Yeah, that's all you need at this point. You've got a big enough lead. You just won the major team fight. That was like the first real 5-on-5 engagement, which you won really convincingly. Hao's just building up in farm right now. He still has the Aegis. If you're IG, I think you wait for the Storm to get his Orchid. You wait for a few more items.
When the Storm finishes the Orchid, then you got level 3 Necro Books up and running. You can have a secondary Yule Scepter too, so this Orchid won't be as effective because Fenrir's almost finished his Yules.
Yeah,
so you're not going to be able to lock down Zeus or Lion.
You have to hope, Toby, that
We should hope and think and pray, and I don't know if all of that's really going to be enough to win Dota.
Yeah, but if you just look at the... I mean, it's just really the support difference. If you're still considering this pick of Nature's Prophet as a support, you've almost got a Necro 3 and an Orchid on him. Whereas if you look at Faith, like, he's got PPD amounts of farm, but without PPD amounts of impact.
I look at Zeus as the support role now, and they switched out because they realized just how fast FY was going up, which is also kind of hilarious considering Ice is a very, very great Nature's Prophet player. But he's got 3k gold, which is why his items reflect what a support Zeus would be, but it doesn't actually show what he's actually got, because he can finish up the Aghanim Scepter shortly after they bring down this mid-fight. Then again, they could just win it. There goes your Thunder God's Wrath, they get the Vision, Wrath of Nature. This forces the very early mech potentially out from burning, but he's holding on to it for the moment. And now you jump out. Luo, careful. Or taking some early damage. That Sonic Wave, Super. Held onto it for a moment. But they're going to take the melee racks. Hao comes in for the last swipe. They get rid of the Necro units, but VG Gaming got what they came for. They take the map control, and FY's already out of there. He's up on top. He's starting the split push. The rats are in the house.
Yeah, and that was perfect timing, too, because the Lifestealer Aegis just faded. And with this new ENG, it's just the way, I mean, I don't really know if I can call it new anymore because it's been like 3 patches, but you can usually only push one lane with it, and then you just wait it out. If you're Vici, you wait for the next Roshan, set up the Roshan with using the Zeus ultimate, scout it out. You can do it so quickly with this Deso Lifestealer. And by that point too, I mean, he's got a Basher on top of this. Once he gets an Abyssal...
Oh, lure, no, there was a family waiting for you at home.
He has to make that play though. It's not really a play, but
Vici Gaming saw it coming. It's like, well, what is Lure now going to do? We have to look across the map. The only place you think someone could be is farming up Ancients, and he might be weaker at that point. Ferrari's having a crack at FY, and he might even be able to, he does actually get the pick off, but does he keep himself alive? He's out of mana. He's got one more jump in him though now, and well, hello to the rest of the team. Currently turned into a fish, and he is done to a turn. Speaking of turn, Yule Scepter burning up into the air, allows for the blink away by Super. With the Thunder God's Wrath IG, it's just letting him know where they are, so they can get out of that one safely.
Yeah, and Super actually conveniently has a regen as well. I think this is definitely going to mean the top lane. Ferrari doesn't have a buyback as well. I think Vici know that as well. Since he just completed his Orchid, they should be relaying that information. The living armor does go down, as is the glyph. But IG, they just don't have the farm right now to make it happen. They're down 2 heroes. Vici, it looks like they're just going to circle out, do a little bit of damage and get out. I mean, I think you just wait for the next Roshan. Honestly, if you're them, you don't have to really sacrifice anything. You don't really have to hurry anything as well. Like, this Storm is pretty much capped out on farm for the next fight. Like, with 800 gold, it's not going to be enough time for him to complete another major item, and I think Vici know that as well.
Hello, Quap Scythe. And, Lure? No detection. He goes on Fender.
Oh, what a nice stun.
Double stun as well. Hal was basically sitting on his back when that stun came out. It's still not enough to kill Fender, and this is why Lure was building the Dagon. He knows getting pickoffs, making a 4v5 before the fight's going to begin, even if it's just Lion going down, that's still worth it. If he takes out the Zeus, it's even better.
The problem for him right now is how do you really get in that close to do that amount of damage? Because if you're getting that close, if you notice the way that Vici fights in these fights is that they spread out, they fan, they leave one hero behind a little bit just to protect their supports, and it just creates like this ring where you can't really penetrate, and IG don't really have the damage or the stuns able to break that. Like you still have Luo with the Blink Dagger, so his positioning game is going to be on point, but Faith has no way to close the distance. With a Nyx already in the game, you're never going to get close enough with Nature's Guys. And I mean, Chuan's farm has just suffered so hard. He's got this gem, he had to pick it up himself, but no Blink Dagger on him, no Aghanim Scepter on him, just no amount of farm. And you haven't really felt this impact from this Lina or this Treant.
It's just been a rough time for him. I'm actually more concerned the fact that Chuan was holding onto the gem, and rightly so he's going to drop it. They used it to have a look around. Chuan knows he's going to die during the next fight. Like, there's no doubt in his mind that he is the sacrificial Lina. Yeah. He's able to get the stun. Laguna, Super. Wow, that's a lot of damage. BKB. Why? Oh, okay. Yellow.
Oh, and actually the long zip by Ferrari, he's going to be able to pick off Fenrir as well. He should go down in short order, and that's another Orchid Charger, is it?
He's looking for the stun.
Yeah, he's going down.
He's dead. With the static remnant on top of him, the second he hit the ground, he was going to pop.
Yeah, no chance for him to get out there.
But what was with that blink?
Yeah.
No, you have 5% of your HP. You turn on your BKB, you look south, and then you do a 180 and blink into the middle of Invictus Gaming.
That had to have been a misclick.
But how do you even misclick that one?
Maybe he thought they were going to fight and he was going to be the sacrificial lamb there.
But there's no point to sacrifice the Quap when, with that kind of blink, you were never going to get your Sonic Wave off. Your Scream would have been minimal to not effective at all.
I mean, it had to have just been either a minimap misclick or he thought for some reason he would die, but then the rest of the fight would go okay. And IG look like they're setting up for this Roshan. This is so smart by them. They have to do this because if they give up the other Roshan, I feel like the game just ends for them. Like, they can't kill Hao twice with the current layout of the map. They do have the medallion, but it's taking them quite some time. Vici look like they know that this is happening.
They're trying to sit on top of the the sentry ward. So yeah, Luo, he's gonna get scouted out.
That's so much damage.
And how much damage has Hal got? He's gonna rip through the Nyx Assassin. Zeus up into the air, but he'll die as he hits the ground. There's not much more he can do, but Roshan, he's not dead yet. These treants from Nature's Problem scout him out, and there's a big Sonic Wave. Isn't enough damage from Super, not currently. There's still a 2-for-2 trade-off, make it 3, as they have managed to get through Chuan. As I said, he's gonna die. The Necro units are down and Burning out of mana. He's got the Eye of the Storm running, but it's quite a calm scene now. As he'll go down, and Roshan's so low. They do still have the Live Stealer coming over, so they'll be able to take out Roshan. So the buyback still makes it worth it, because Hal can now pick up the Aegis Immortal if he wants it.
Yeah, if you're Vici, you just go straight down bottom. You've got 2 lives on Hal. It took them quite a long time to kill him anyways. You know that at this point the Storm BKB is so low. Razor doesn't have another major item coming, and he uses BKB charge as well. You know that the timing works out so they don't have Glyph for another minute or so, which they don't. Actually, let's just check. Yeah, it's another 42 seconds. The buyback does come off on Razor, though. Ew, that... I think if Vici are smart, maybe they just circle out, look for a pickoff first.
Yeah. Just set up for the warding. Get the obs out so you can see when IG are going to leave their base. Then again, do you even need the obs? FY, I don't think his micro has been as great as Ice is when he normally plays an Aegis Prophet. Because Ice will summon Treants and just send them to all points of the map. So you see absolutely everything at all times.
You know, when I was first learning how to play the hero, I asked Freedom, the guy who used to play with him, and he's like, just watch how Ice does it. Yep. And that's exactly what I saw every single time. Is as soon as he'd form them, he'd just send them in every single location and scout out everyone. It just looked broken the way that he was doing it.
It feels more like his StarCraft 2 history kicks in there, and he runs them like Zerglings. So you just put them in different points of the map, so you can 100% of the time that someone's going to come in.
Toby, he was doing that before. Haven't you heard that story with him and PL? There's like this one story that I read once of one of his teammates, and they're like...
but before though, like...
Okay.
He played StarCraft 2 in the gap between Warcraft 3 and Dota 2.
Yeah, but I'm saying... He was
doing it in Warcraft 3
Yeah,
as
in
well?
Warcraft 3. I read this article like way back when, and it always sticks out. He's like, this one time we were ganking Ice's PL, and he just sent 5 illusions and his hero in different directions at once. And it became impossible to figure out which one was him.
Can someone please find a highlight clip of that one?
That was so old, though.
If it doesn't exist... Okay, yo. Dude, we have the Dota 2 community. If something's old, it can be brought up. There's a guy that's actually doing like classic history of Dota as well. Made a Reddit post about it. Someone find that, make a video or a GIF of it, or the article itself. I don't care, but I prefer the video.
Yeah, that was like the godliest thing I've ever heard of, though, and I always remember it. And IG looks like they're smoked up.
He's got the rage off in time, and Ferrari hexed up. Super jumps inside the protection of the BKB, and just Sonic waves down Ferrari. He didn't care, he just wanted that kill. And Burning, he at least has a nice static link, so nice damage for him. But Chuan, as well as Luo, real problems. FY was the Orchid that was stopping Luo from really doing anything. Chuan trapped in the tree lines. He was the man they gave the living armor to protect. It's a 3-for-2 trade-off, and Burning, that 168 points of damage, doing some serious lifting. The life steal will come back to life again. He's got a little bit more of that damage. It's enough to rip through Hal. He gets the kill. It's an ultra kill for Burning. All the farm put to good use. Investment rewards, market share. Ice, refresher orb. Who's he looking for? He actually refresher orb back inside the base and didn't throw out the second Wrath of Nature.
Yeah, maybe he kind of misread that situation, but
yeah.
Luo at bottom, he's hunting his courier still. I don't think he's going to be able to get it, and I don't think he should.
He's got Blink and 4 stuff. He can go for it, and Zeus is the only one alive.
Yeah, but he'd have to hit it twice, and I don't know if that's worth of his investment either, but man, that fight by IG, I think Vici just got a little bit overeager. They were able to pick up that Storm really early, and Hao did have his... he had all the items he
just lightning bolted. Ice feels so secure. Okay. Up in the air, lightning bolt 1, ring a Rosie around the trees, the centaurs are coming out, and, Leo, you can't go that way. But you'll go that way, blink over and 4-staff away to safety.
Yeah, in that fight, man, Vici just got stomped. You definitely didn't see that coming either. They killed the Storm immediately, who's the highest net worth in the game, actually, at this point.
Yeah.
You've got 2 lives on Hal, but...
But it was the Razor who finally did something.
Yeah, he just stole so much damage from Hal, and I don't think they realized it. It was kind of one of those scenarios where they're like, yeah, he's stealing damage, and he'd been so careful to close... he'd just been running away in most of these fights, but I think with the Aegis and the way that the fight started, they assumed that it would be okay, but that was actually set up by a great Faith ultimate. Like, he ran into the center of all of Vici Gaming's heroes, was able to lock down the ultimate, and then at that point Vici just got picked apart one by one. And they also went into that corner, do you remember, where the Lina and the Nyx, they ran into that corner over here by the secret shop, and it just made the fight so miserable for Vici. Yeah, because normally they 3-shot the Lina and the Nyx at the same time and then run away, but in this fight they were actually able to just kite for long enough.
The funny thing is, I was questioning the living armor going on to the Lina, but
yeah,
you realized just how effective it was, because VG Gaming, they wanted to get quick pick, move to the next, but they never got to stage 2 of that plan. Yeah, they got stuck at stage 1.
And Chuan was able to get off like everything as a result of that as well. Like I was right there with you. I was like, why did they just use living armor on their Lina? But it completely paid off.
It did.
She was the moving target.
Well, before we start up on this top fight, I just want to remind everyone, help share the live stream. If you want to do it, you can use the Twitch system hosting. So /host space joined under red. You can do that on your own channels. So if you're tuning in right now, I saw a couple of also our celebrity mods that are in here who have quite a large amount of power behind their channels. So host it up. Let everyone know that this great Dota is going on. VG versus IG. It's the grand final of the Chinese qualifier for the D2CL. The winner of this best of 5 will be traveling to Europe to play in the LAN finals.
Ooh, very fancy.
It will be. It'll be a very spectacular final.
Yeah, and Vici, they are looking for it again. I mean, as long as they don't botch this fight, I feel like it can still go in their favor. They've got a Hex.
I'm sitting on Luo Cam, man.
Yeah, they've got... I mean, he's been the playmaker this game for sure. Like, he's made so much happen. He was able to get the stun off again in that last fight. Super. He's got the Hex. They've got the Abyssal Blade. I mean, what do you really wait for if you're Vici at this point? Maybe another Hex on FY, but do you really even have the timing for that? And
they want the kill on Luo. I think that's the primary thing they're searching for. That's the reason why FY purchased the gem and threw it over on Super. So they can move around and find these pickoffs, and they're going to. Luo's running over. In fact, at the same time, he bounces out. And because Luo sees the live stealer, he now hunts the live stealer. Storm Spirit's gonna jump, starts with the Orc, which means Luo can get all
He's
this damage
so isolated
with the Dagon, and he was holding hands. But they waited like the predators they are.
Oh, are they going to be able to get Ferrari off of this though?
Maybe the Burning comes in with a BKB. He's stealing the damage from Super, and he can't stop it because the Blink is currently on cooldown. So Burning takes 140 points of damage, and they are not running that same fight again.
Yeah, you absolutely can't take that. Faith is coming in as well. You've lost your hard carry.
Look how much they got for the kill.
Oh, man.
That was just the life stealer.
Warriors of the wood.
Alright, you know what the crazy part about what just happened too? Is that the Storm peeks in to the Roche pit as Vici leave it. Like, neither of them have ward vision there. That could have been a free kill on the Storm, but it's just a matter of inches like that. And instead, they're able to pick off Hal. That was like the first time he ran away from his team. The timing on that was just surreal. And it's not even that IG planned that out. It just was a matter of seconds.
Luo. He's found Fenrir. Storm Spirit kills him with just the ball lightning.
Yeah, he can't be alone on this map anymore, but normally his buddy is Hal, but he's dead, so there's no one really to protect him at this point. And we saw Luo die in that position like 5 minutes ago, but now he's successful with the kill, the revenge. And IG, they're going to get a tower out of this as well, maybe even 2.
It's taken 48, almost 49 minutes to take a second tower.
It was all worth it.
Just flag that one right now. It's taken him that long. Lifesteal's back to the world of the living. He has all of his items up and running. He's just straight TPing up.
And FY, he is farming out this top jungle. He has to be a little bit careful. Faith, I think they know. They're pinging that section of the map out. Faith is slowly invising his way over. Nope. They actually ping it out, but maybe they just thought that the entire Vici Gaming lineup would be there. Ice, Ice, Ice. He's just scouting out some wards with his bolt.
We have the full assault cuirass now done for Super. We're also starting up a Scythe Device. I say starting, finishing a Scythe Device over on FY. So there's a lot more power coming into this VG Gaming team fight. I still don't know if there's enough power to deal with that Nyx Assassin initiation, because it's forcing the fights to start with VG Gaming one man down. Almost every single time. And when that happens, with the point that the heroes are at for VG Gaming, the death timer is so long that you buy yourself almost a minute of, like, a window of opportunity. They're still crippled, IG. They've still got their mid ranks down, which is a major, major problem. But they're fighting strong. They're fighting hard. And VG Gaming, they don't have this in the bag at all.
No, it looked like they did for a little bit. They picked up 2 Orchids in such short order, but during that time period where they had that huge peak, it just Luo opened up the map for them. Luo this, Luo that. I mean, it looks like if you just look at his baseline score, 6, 7, and 9, you don't really feel the impact that he's had this game.
Yeah, but he really has been the MVP. Smoke's gonna break on Burning as well as Super.
They know.
And now the Storm ulti, he's jumping in with a BKB, but how? Abyssal blades him up, they went for the Sonic Wave, but they can't do it. Well, then again, maybe they can. The Nyx Assassin does go down, Fate's trying to buy space. Now your Sonic Wave comes out from Super. Fate's gonna drop. Burning's not looking good. How's just ripping them apart. He needs a little bit more time to attack Burning. He's ripping apart Super, but Super at 64 HP. 1 second till blink. Incheon cannot finish the job. They're only going to lose Lion. And IG, that was such a long jump. They spent half, like maybe not half of that fight, a quarter of that fight just getting to the location that the jump came in from Storm.
Man, I must have some kind of sick curse, because every single time I praise Luo, he something terrible happens. He either dies or he blinks into 3. And that's the thing, is he blinked into 3 heroes, point blank range, with like everybody raged or BKB'd up.
So his spy carapace did nothing.
Yeah, he just got instantly blown up. Like, he goes in, throws out the stun, catches nothing, and dies instantly. So yeah, he's been playing well, but that, oh man, that move might have just cost them, because they need him to have impact in these fights.
They got double buybacks. Storm's got his, but it's 6 seconds until he's up, so Razor just uses his. So they'll have Storm and Tree up in 2 seconds. This makes it manageable for IG. Because they bought back on the Razor, VG Gaming don't take a second set of racks.
Yeah, there's the Bloodstone paying off. Just the amount of charges that he had. But that's the only time it's going to work out like that. You need 1 per level that you are, so this 6-second Bloodstone charge isn't going to make a huge difference. This 5-second BKB is a little bit underwhelming too, and with this next Roshan, I believe that's going to go to Super? If I'm IG,
it would
Vici, I mean?
He has to drop the gem and give it to somebody else.
Yeah, that's fine though. It's not that big of a deal.
Storm, well, jumps in, looks for something.
Oh, he gets Abyssal.
He's gonna get Abyssal bladed up. Ferrari 4-3, but the support comes in from Faith, throws the ulti out, and maybe there's enough damage. Bernie's dishing out so much. He's on 140 points. Zeus throws out the ulti, but burning the eye. The Storm's still going to work. VG Gaming, they lose life. Stealer Super on a bare stick of life. Gets himself away, burning. He's gonna go down. Super battling from outside the pit. The Aegis will pop on him, but he's the last one left alive. Luo's coming back over. He's got Spike Carapace and Queen of Pain. Jumps away Ferrari. Hard on the tails. Those Bloodstone charges not fully back. Gonna get orchided. The stun from Luo. No, he goes for the mana burn to start with. The blink up from Super. Luo with that Vendetta is chasing him down. There's your Orchid. There's your stun. A full team wipe. A genocide against VG Gaming. Aegis included. I'm not even quite sure who got the cheese out of that one, but either way, IG, they hold the line, and they get a very good fight for themselves.
Burning just stole so much damage in that fight, and with that Faith, that ultimate, when he walks in, there wasn't a rage up. Hao just gets isolated in these fights, and he can't really do a lot. I mean, I think he dropped his Yasha to try to pick up the cheese, but even then, it's not really doing too much. And the fights, this is so weird, because VG built up a lead, but with the type of lineup that they have,
yeah,
I mean, Lifestealer is just not the most reliable carry, because again, once your rage finishes, what do you really accomplish, right? I almost feel as though he needs a BKB, because what's going on right now is he's initiating with his rage, and then Faith comes into the back line, he gets his ultimate off, Burning steals like 300 damage, and then Burning just goes to work. I actually think this might be a game where he needs to get a BKB prioritized over anything. Like, it looks like he might be going for, he has a Yasha right now,
but is it really enough? Like,
to get a, I guess a Manta would be okay this game, but I feel like a BKB would just be so much more reliable. Like, if you're gonna get a Manta, you might as well just disassemble your S and Y at this point.
The problem I'm seeing is the fact that if you're gonna have, it is gonna be a Manta for Hal, but if you're gonna get linked up, then your BKB isn't gonna protect you enough.
I guess, but it just feels
the damage is still gonna be stolen. It's a question of distance more than anything else.
Yeah, but he's got S and Y. He's got the phase boost. I kind of would want to see a BKB.
Is this Yasha even gonna make any sense? Like, into a mana style, is he just trying to break free of the Orchid? Is he maybe that's what he's worried about.
He's just trying to get out of the tree ultimate more than anything.
Okay.
But I feel like, yeah, if you mistime it, then there's the Orchid as well. If you use the Manta to pop out, I just feel like against this many hexes, how many do they actually not hexes? This many. They've got 1 Orchid. They've got 2 stuns. I guess Manta's okay, but I would like to see the BKB instead. Well,
I don't think you're going to get your wish, man, because Hao is pretty much going to go for this mana style. You still have your BKBs on the rest as Zeus. Imagine what happens to imagine what happens when Ice gets his Aghanim Scepter. Because he is sitting on 2200 gold right now. He built the Refresher Orb, but when you add a double buffed up Zeus ultimate, does Lina survive even with living armor on her? If we do the math right now, does she survive against that? And this is not including Wrath of Nature from FY.
I think she does. She has enough HP. Like, she's actually really tanky. She's got 1300 HP. I think if Ice, if anything, probably grab a Veil, right? That probably helps your team damage in team fights the most, more than the Orchid. Or, not the Orchid, the Aghanims. And Vici, they are smoked up. This is technically a 5-man because FY can be there instantly.
Yep.
If they're able to pick off a hero like Ferrari, they know that the buyback is on cooldown for a little bit, 3 minutes. And that was what really won them the fight, is that Storm zip in, was able to come back into the fight when all the BKBs and the Orchids and the Hexes were down. It looks like they actually are.
They see Ferrari. They saw him jump, but at the same time, Super blinked himself up. Ice will be revealed.
Oh, this is so awkward now for Vici.
Yeah, because they know the Ferrari could be behind them, and they don't want to go inside the base, knowing that their backline could be picked off.
Yeah, and they're blind on the left side of the map, so you absolutely don't want to go for that. And Luo is going to his Luo spot on the Ancients.
Well, who's he waiting for? He's going to get Ice. I don't know if he has enough damage for that, and Ice is checking for it.
He always does. He just bolts every single time.
Prophet. He's TPing in at the same time. That's a fresh Vendetta. So FY, attack, stun, Dagon. Is it enough? He has to blink himself away. FY doesn't have a way to follow this, however, and Luo is not going to take any chances. He's getting the hell out of here. The Sprout comes a second too late, and the Bolt was off target. They do at least get rid of that Dire Observer Ward that was down because of the gem over on Super. That was freshly planted by Treant Protector about a minute ago.
Yeah.
They're trying to keep tabs on the items coming in from VG Gaming, so they can be aware if there's any more disables arriving, or the item build, so they can be prepared for it.
Yeah, and if I'm FY2, I would consider a BKB. I just feel like it's such a strong BKB game. Like, you would negate the Storm, the Lina. I mean, yeah, Faith can still ultimate you, but it would make Luo relatively useless. And I just think it's a pretty good BKB game for Vici overall. And you've got the Queen of Pain that has one, but at this point it's 5 seconds. The Lifestealer, yeah, he's got Rage, but it lasts 6 seconds, which isn't ideal. That's like a small BKB at this point. Doesn't really help you out. But I feel like if you have 10 seconds of invulnerability, then you can really go to work. But he's got his Manta now, so we'll see how this pays off.
Well, I'd say why not both, but I doubt you could switch it during the middle of a team fight. Unless you're going to drop your phase. Luo's on the hunt again. He saw Nature's Prophet was pushing out the bottom lane with the Necro units and the trees. But you could also see the way FI was moving. He's giving so much respect to Luo.
Oh, Luo, they know he's there with the gem.
It's a trap!
Alright, he gets hit in two. He actually just got 2-shot.
There was no way out of that one.
Alright, that was... I mean, he has to be on that side of the map, but it was still funny looking.
He has to give it a shot. There was no choice. Buyback is still available for him, so we can be part of this engagement. And right now, I think IG needs to make sure this middle lane is slowed down a little bit, because they're about to get massively sieged on the bottom. The Living Armor's got the tower up to full life. And they do have the advantage, the fact that these Necro units for Nature's Prophet are still on cooldown, because he did the push before. So that isn't available here. And here's your buyback. Where's your jump? Ferrari, he's not going for it. They just buy back on the next assassin.
I think they're just waiting. If you're IG, you wait for Ferrari's buyback as well.
You got Roshan in potentially 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Yeah,
so
Ferrari's buyback is actually going to make this game a little bit difficult. Oh man, I feel like there's a Storm nerf coming from Ice Frog. It hurts me to say.
Why is there a Storm nerf?
It's just the fact that you can... Honestly, I'm a Storm player.
Oh,
and I think it's
no! Oh, yes, no! So he's going to get himself away. Luo is in trouble, and so is that courier. That courier is traveling with a Scythe device. That's Ferrari's Scythe device. It can be delivered.
Oh!
He's going to drop the gem.
Oh, he's got it, though.
He got the Scythe device.
He's got it.
He switched the gem over to the courier.
That timing, if he had been just even a little bit off, but... I mean, if Vici see that, then they know that Ferrari doesn't have a buyback. And what I was going to say, by the way, about the Storm buyback, for transparency's sake, is I think that it's a little bit ridiculous that, you know, you use your full out mana pool, you go in, you instantly pick off the hero, and then for the base defense, you just buy back, zip in again, you put out so much damage, the enemy team doesn't have a BKB at that point, it's so game winning.
Well, if he's going to nerf that one, he's going to nerf the way the fountain works with the hero when Storm arrives with full mana. That's something you could potentially nerf. Now, jump in, goes for super, but out comes How. He didn't get the Abyssal Blade off, so Ferrari got his space out of that one. Now Faith, oh, he got Abyssal Blades on Faith. The Overgrowth won't work either because he got orchided up. He should have enough life points to survive through this one, but Ferrari doing the damage, jumping over Fender in the Yule Scepter. He got bashed by How. There's enough. He's got enough, or does he? The Screamer doesn't reach him. The Living Armor protection was there, but IG, they've lost 3, they've lost top racks, and they'll call the GG as we breach the hour mark. That will be game number 1 of this best of 5, but it goes to VG Gaming, so they are 1 victory away from having their all expenses paid flight over to Europe to battle at the D2CL LAN finals. Quality start game.
It was a little bit sloppy for both teams. I mean, you saw IG do okay in the laning phase, and then Vici got the better of it with FY getting as far ahead as he did. And then on top of that, you saw Vici built up quite the lead. They got both the Orchids online at such a good timing. And then you saw that miraculous stun by Luo, and then that Roshan fight where Ferrari buys back and he wipes them.
Yep.
And it was a good back and forth affair. I feel like Vici could have itemized a little bit better to clean this game out a little bit more cleanly. But at the same time, they walk away with the win.
That they do. And they walk away with a win with a support Prophet that turned into a core. That for me is something which, like, because Nature's Prophet is one of my favorite heroes. Like the way you are about Storm, I'm the same about Prophet.
Okay,
so
fair enough.
I'm happy to see Prophet with a victory. All right, let's go to a break. We'll be back in just a moment. Make sure you stick around. Game number 2 of this best of 5 will be coming up just after this break.